Right, this is John Cola with OKRAW.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you. Hopefully this one is going to be a short one at that. And, today I want to share with you guys the two most important words in the English language. And if you speak other languages, hey, feel free to translate this into other languages. I only speak English myself. But the two most important words having to do with your health in the English language. And without further ado, I'll just share them with you right now, and then you can turn the video off if you don't want to hear the rest of me. But in my opinion, the two most important words are number one, raise, and number two, reduce. No, not reduce, reuse, recycle, which we should all be doing anyways, but raise and reduce. Why, right? Because your health depends on to the extent of how much you raise or add in certain things into your life, and also at the same time reduce things in your life or take away things in your life. For example, one of the many reasons why the plant-based raw food diet rich in fruits and vegetables works is because as much as somebody's eating and increasing their fruit and vegetable consumption, at the same time they're automatically also reducing their processed food consumption, hopefully also animal consumption, animal product consumption, as well as processed food consumption, right? In my opinion, animal foods in excess and processed foods in excess are not healthy. So I want you guys always to work on reducing. When you do anything every day, I want you to think, what can I raise or increase? How can I be raised up, right? And how could I reduce things that are not so good for you, right? And in the case of the sun, I'm like, the sun's beaming on me. I have a hat on today, so I'm getting a little bit of shade. But in general, I get lots of good sun, especially the spring, summer, and fall where I live. In the winter, I need to increase or raise up my sun exposure. I do that by traveling. So, this will make me feel good because of the vitamin D, and just the sun on my face is so refreshing, right? Some of you guys maybe cover yourself up all the time and you wear all the sunblock, right? Maybe you want to raise up your sun exposure. But maybe some other people out there might live in the tropics, and maybe for you might want to reduce it. So, in my opinion, there's always that balance point. You got to find out if you have to raise something, reduce it. And in general, nothing's ever going to be want to stay the same. You're going to always want to raise or reduce things, right? So, if you are into a ketogenic diet, maybe you want to raise up the amount of vegetables you're eating. Maybe you want to reduce the amount of animal flesh you're eating and animal products. Maybe if you eat a high fruit diet and you don't eat a lot of vegetables, maybe then you want to increase some of your leafy green vegetables especially, and other vegetables. Maybe reduce, maybe just a little bit, guys, don't blow up on me, your fruit consumption, right? Maybe you're eating lots of bananas and dates. Maybe you love bananas and dates, and you guys know I don't, bananas and dates, I eat them when I could get really good things, but, I'd rather eat other fruits, frankly, So, maybe you want to increase or raise up the nutrient density of the foods you're eating. So by nutrient density, what specifically do I mean? I mean the trace minerals, eat more trace mineral rich foods, eat more antioxidant rich foods, These are the foods, in my opinion, that have more micronutrients that are also more healing and beneficial for us, that will get you faster to the results you want to desire, right? As much as eating bananas and dates is great because now you're increasing your fruits, and at the same time you're basically reducing other things you're consuming. And bananas and dates, as much as I'm not the biggest fan of them, are way better than most other foods out there. I mean, I'd eat bananas and dates before I eat Daiya cheese or a lot of these other processed vegan junk foods, right? Maybe you just eat vegan. Maybe, in my opinion, people that just eat vegan should, work on reducing their vegan processed foods that are made in a factory, a lab, that may taste good, but in my opinion, are not so good for your health, and raise up the whole plant foods you're eating. Maybe even raise up the fruits and vegetable content you're eating. Maybe you juice now, maybe you don't juice, right? Today I drank 3 juices. I had 32 ounces of straight lettuce juice, 32 ounces of straight cucumber juice, my first 2 meals of the day. The third meal of my day was, pear juice, fresh made. Today maybe I would reduce my juice consumption so I could raise up my whole food consumption. But today I was busy, I was running around the car all day, right? Maybe you guys don't juice at all, so maybe you want to raise up your juice consumption, because, you know, to me, raising your juice consumption of, you know, and when I juice, I tend to juice mostly vegetables, or what are thought of as vegetables. Cucumbers, technically, they're thought of as vegetables, but technically they're a fruit. But this allows me to basically raise up the volume of fruits and vegetables I'm eating, especially, you know, the fruity vegetables, or the vegetables that are actually fruits. So, you know, before I even got started eating whole food today, or, you know, things whole, I already basically consumed the nutrition from 12 pounds of produce, because it takes approximately, you know, 1 pound of produce to produce 8 ounces of juice, and that's just my rough guidelines. So that allowed me to massively raise up my vegetable consumption, and, you know, I think that is something that can be really lacking in many raw and even plant-based diets. While this whole idea of raising up and reducing in your life, I basically talked about diet, but there's so many other things, you know, that you should be raising and reducing on a regular basis, right? Maybe you can raise up your exercise, you know, maybe you could reduce the amount that you take public transportation, or, you know, driving in your car, and you could raise up riding on a bike, you know. You can raise up your sleep, and you could reduce the amount of time in your life where you're idle, or you're at work that you don't really particularly care for, right? I also encourage you guys to reduce things such as stressors to your body. This is very important. I'm always thinking about how can I, you know, raise up things that are going to benefit me and reduce things that are not going to benefit me, right? So, I mean, for example, in my house, I basically reduced, or basically eliminated, all Wi-Fi signals. You know, I keep my Wi-Fi turned off. Everything is wired. If I have to turn it on, I could turn it on and then turn it right back off, you know, for a limited amount of time. You know, you could reduce your cell phone usage. In my opinion, cell phones are really bad for your health. As much as possible, at least try to turn them off, or minimally have them in airplane mode. And I know you can't take calls when they're in airplane mode, but if you're using something like Google Voice, if you have it connected to, you know, Wi-Fi, or through a wire, you can still get text messages, and people could call you through WhatsApp or other methods, not just through your regular phone provider, right? I want you guys to increase the types of personal body care products you're using that's actually more health-based or homemade, even better, you know? And also, at the same time, reduce toxins in your environment, right? Whether that's formaldehyde cabinets, whether that's, you know, formaldehyde in your synthetic carpets, you know, try to use more natural coverings. I basically pulled out the carpet in my house and basically replaced it all with tile that does not off-gas. You know, I painted my house with non-VOC paint, so reducing the VOCs and the paint in my environment. You know, also the cleaning products you use, reduce the, you know, toxic cleaning products you use, and raise up the more natural ones, or even better, homemade ones, like I said. So I always want you guys to either raise things up that are going to benefit you, you know, or reduce things. Reduce the amount of stress in your life, and raise up the peacefulness, the mindfulness. Raise up your connection with nature. You know, reduce your time in skyscrapers and stuck in traffic, right? So remember, if you don't remember anything else in this video, remember, raise, right? I want you guys to raise up things that are going to benefit you, you know, healthier foods, you know, things that are going to make you a better person. Raise up and increase those things on a daily basis, and at the same time, reduce or eliminate things that will not help your health. I mean, you guys know what they are. I mean, I don't have to tell you guys that when you go out and cheat at McDonald's, or cheat at that vegan restaurant that serves highly processed stuff, but it's vegan, and you're supposed to be raw vegan or whole food plant-based, and you're eating, you know, processed vegan stuff, even though you know it's not good for you, do it anyways. Reduce that stuff, guys. Hey, if you're going twice a week to the vegan, you know, restaurant that's not serving the healthiest food, reduce that to once a week, man. Hey, that's just already 50% improvement, right? And increase that with fresh fruits and vegetables and home prepared foods. Yeah, that's the other thing I want you guys to raise up the amount of food that you prepare at home. Like virtually 99.9% of the food I eat, unless I'm on a trip, comes from my garden and comes from food that I made, you know. I made all my own juices this morning. I basically freeze-dried 8 pounds of blueberries, you know, and I got strawberries going right now. So, you know, you got to do things yourself. Raise up the size of your garden. Raise up, you know, the percentage of food you're eating that you grew yourself, whether that's sprouts and microgreens if you don't have an outside to grow. You know, raise up the amount of farmers market produce. I mean, I visited 2 farms today to literally pick food right out of the ground, stuff that I'm not growing so I can have the freshest food. Increase or raise up the fresh food, the highly vibrant foods, and reduce the, you know, the foods that don't have the vibrancy, that aren't alive, that are heavily cooked and processed. Not good for you. Anyways, enough for my rant. This video has gone long enough. Reduce and raise so you can be raised up and have a higher level of consciousness and health in the end. If you guys enjoyed this short format video, thumbs it up. Also be sure to share it on all your YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter accounts. I appreciate that. Also be sure to click that subscribe button right down below so you don't miss out on my new upcoming episodes I've coming out about every 5 to 7 days. You never know where I'll show up or what new tidbits of knowledge I'll be sharing with you guys. You know, this came to me when I was chopping and washing blueberries this morning. Also, be sure to click the little bell so you get notified as my new videos come out. And finally, be sure to check my past episodes. The past episodes are a wealth of knowledge. I think I have over 500 or 600 episodes out on this YouTube channel dedicated to sharing with you guys all my health teachings and ways you can maximize the amounts of fruits and vegetables you guys are eating in your diet so you guys can get healthier. So with that, my name is John Kohler with OKRAW.com. We'll see you next time. And until then, increase your percentage of fresh fruits and vegetables. They're always the best.